Hello, welcome. My name is SlugMTG, and today we're going to be taking a look at another hyper-budget deck tech. This time, we've got zombies. Now, zombies as a deck is kind of interesting, as generally what happens with hyper-budget is I do have to make some pretty hard cuts to the overall quality of the deck. Some of the better cards that are more expensive, I have to end up cutting and putting in with these budget replacements for it. However, with zombies, that's not really true. All of the zombies are pretty cheap, and the deck that I will be using today, I have called Bargain of the Dead, but besides my horrible budget name for it, there's not really any cuts that I've made. The deck does differ a little bit from other people's zombie lists, but generally that just comes down to personal preference. I'll talk more about individual card choices in the actual deck tech, but for now I just want to talk about the zombie archetype a little bit. It's had some success. I've seen it 5-0 a few times on leagues, and it's definitely not a tier 1 deck, but it sits comfortably at a tier 2, and it really has the tools to win most matchups as zombies attack in a variety of directions. But it's just a very interesting deck. It's technically an aggro list, but it's not really like any other aggro lists, as there are so many ways to reach past, and it's kind of like an aggro, kind of like a burn. But let's go ahead and hop onto Magic Online. We'll talk about specific cards. So here we have the deck. Running over the mana base real quick. I mean, it's mono black. You've got a bunch of swamps, 2 Barren Moors, 2 Witch's Cottage, 20 lands overall. Pretty simple. Going into the deck itself, let's cover the zombies that we'll be using. Carnophage is a 2/2 for 1 mana. At the beginning of our upkeep, we have to pay 1 life or else it taps itself. Generally, since we are the aggro deck, we don't mind paying some life to help damage our opponent further. Running 3 Carrion Feeders, as this generally turns off a lot of removal. If they remove one of the zombies that we have, we can sack it to Carrion Feeder, grows Carrion Feeder, and it can be a very annoying creature, as it also makes blocks really difficult. Since you can sacrifice the creatures that are being blocked, that'll die anyway, to Carrion Feeder, help it grow. It's a very annoying creature. We have 4 Festering Mummies, 1 mana, 1/1. When it dies, we put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Great for shrinking our opponent's board, pinging off Delvers, fairies, things like that. Pairs really well with Carrion Feeder, as we can activate that at instant speed whenever we want to. We are running 4 copies of Lazotep Reaver. 1 in a black for a 1/2. When it enters battlefield, we amass 1, which we put a +1/+1 counter on an army we control. If we don't control an army, then we create a 0/0 black army creature token and then put the +1/+1 counter on that. So basically it comes in with the 1/1. If we already have that 1/1, then the 1/1 becomes a 2/2. We're running 4 of those. It's a 2 mana 3/2 spread across 2 bodies, very efficient. The multiple bodies is very important as we come to Shepherd of Rot, which is a 2 mana 1/1, but we tap to have each player lose 1 life for each zombie on the battlefield. This is a majority of our reach, and this is a very big win condition, as generally in the later game, once the opponent starts to get at a lower life total, they'll have bigger creatures out than our 1/1s and 2/2s, and Shepherd of Rot will still let us deal damage, and more than likely we'll be at the higher life total, so we don't mind bringing everyone down as long as we're going to come out in the end. And then part of the reason why zombies as a tribe is so resilient, at least in Pauper, we are running 4 copies of Ghoul Raiser. It is a 3 mana 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, we return a zombie card at random from your graveyard to your hand. The at random kind of stinks, but honestly we don't mind getting back any of our creatures, so it's really good. Helps fight against removal. We are running 2 copies of Gary as our top end. If you don't know who Gary is, it is a 5 mana 2/4, and when it enters, each opponent loses X life, where X is the devotion to black, and then we gain life equal to the life lost this way. So this is great in the late game when we're kind of beating each other down. You play Gary, swings the life totals back around, perfect for getting our life total back up if we want to activate Shepherd of Rot. And then another one of our win conditions is Gem Palm Polluter, which is a 6 mana 4/3. We will never pay that. Instead, we want that cycling ability. So for black, we can discard this card, draw a card, and when you cycle Gem Palm Polluter, you may have target player lose life equal to the number of zombies on the battlefield. This gives us even more reach, instant speed, cannot be countered, and this often just wins us the game, and it can trip. So it's great. We can get it back with Ghoul Raiser. But to talk about some of the other spells in the deck, we are running 3 copies of Mainboard Defile as some removal. Defile is probably the best black black removal spell in the format. 3 copies of Ghoulcaller's Chant. For a single mana, we can return a creature from our graveyard to our hand, or we can return 2 zombie cards from our graveyard to our hand. So if our opponent spends 2 removal spells, with 1 mana, 1 card, we can get both those creatures back, put them back out on the battlefield, and it really helps zombies be insanely resilient against removal, as between Ghoul Raiser and Ghoulcaller's Chant, they're just constantly coming back to our hands. You can't get rid of them. Very on theme as well for zombies. We are running 2 Nameless Inversions, 1 in a black for a tribal instant Shapeshifter, Changeling. Target creature gets +3/-3 and loses all creature types until end of turn, so this is really good removal. Also pretty good against Gurmag Anglers, as we can swing in with our 2/2. They'll more than likely block. We can Nameless Inversion the Gurmag, and their Gurmag Angler goes away with the 2 damage. The other reason this is in the deck is because this is an instant, but it does have Changeling, which means this card is every creature type. So this does work with the Ghoulcaller's Chants and the Ghoul Raisers, meaning that if this is in the graveyard, we can get it back. So it's repeatable. We can keep cycling it through, getting rid of creatures. It's very annoying. And then to top it off, we are running 4 Sign in Bloods. Now, I've been running this list for quite a while. I do really enjoy it, and some of the changes that I've seen other people make, I've seen people take out the Gray Merchants in favor of other zombies. Instead of 4 Sign in Bloods, they run 2 Village Rites. I'm quite a fan of Sign in Blood. It's card draw that isn't reliant on our current board state. We don't need to sacrifice a creature to draw cards. There have been multiple times where I've been able to kill someone with Sign in Blood, because it's target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. And since we are an aggro list, it's not uncommon for the opponent to be at 1 or 2 life at the end of our attack step or all the rest of our burn, and then we can Sign in Blood them for the win. I've done it multiple times, very satisfying. Sign in Blood has proven to be very useful. And then with Gray Merchant, Gary is just a really good top end to be shooting for, as with Shepherd of Rot and Carnophage, you are hurting yourself as well. And Gary can help you stabilize a little bit, help you activate Shepherd of Rot without killing yourself. And Gary's just a very strong card. I can understand why people get rid of it, as it is a 5 cost in a pretty aggro list. So if you are playing this deck, just know that there are quite a few avenues you can still go down. Moving on to the sideboard though, we are running 3 copies of Duress for those pesky control matchups, 2 copies of Cast Down if we want more removal, 4 copies of Chainer's Edicts if we want more removal. We're up against things like Mono White Heroic or Boggles, 2 Suffocating Fumes against Elves, Goblins, things like that, 2 Nihil Spell Bombs against graveyard decks, and then 2 Sylvok Life Staffs against Burn. So that is the deck overall. It's a very unique aggro list, and I'm hoping these games that I'm going to play will help showcase that. So let's go ahead and hop into some games. All right, so we are in the first game here. We won the die roll. Ooh, 1 land. I don't think I can keep that, so I'm going to ship that back. Oh, that's a no-lander. Okay. Our opponent kept 7. Well, we got them all. All right, we'll keep this. Not too happy about it, but I guess we'll put 2 lands back. Call it done. So let's carry on Feeder, and that's all we can do. Pass the turn. Vault of Whispers. Not really sure what our opponent is playing, as Atog doesn't normally run black. Might be Mirror Retriever combo. Anyway, second swamp, and I guess we'll just swing in for 1, because we drew a land. Yay! And that's all we can do. Well, they just play land and pass back to us, so okay, let's play land, Sign in Blood ourselves. See, this is why I like Sign in Blood. If I had Village Rites, then I would have to sacrifice the Carrion Feeder, but we do get a Festering Mummy, so we'll go ahead and play that. Swing in with the Carrion Feeder, hit them down, all the way down to 18. And we don't have the best clock right now. I really hope we draw some more creatures or more card draw. Mirror Retriever. Okay, so this is Mirror Retriever combo. I think I will get rid of this right now, as I just don't want it to block. So yes, sacrifice a Festering Mummy, put the -1/-1 counter on. We do want to do that. And Carrion Feeder becomes a 2/2. So we double our clock. Yeah, I think I'll just play the Swamp, swing in with Carrion Feeder and pass turn. I don't really want to put the Festering Mummy on top, as there are plenty of other better cards that I could end up drawing. If we really need it, we can Ghoulcaller's Chant it back next turn. Yeah, so this is Mirror Retriever combo. We are not running things to get rid of artifacts. I mean, we're in mono black. Sideboard will probably bring in the Nihil Spell Bombs. They're stuck on 2 lands. We really need to draw some gas. Another carrion feeder. Okay. Well, I guess we just swing in, put him down to 14, and then we'll play the carrion feeder. I am tempted at their end step to sack the carrion feeder to the carrion feeder, and then bring back the Festering Mummy and the carrion feeder with the Ghoul Caller's chant. That is a play I am considering. All right, there is the Ashnod's altar. That is not what I want to see. So, another Ghoul Caller's chant. Okay, well, we're getting pretty unlucky with what draws we're getting. So I guess we will swing with everything. Put him down to 11, and I think, because I have 4 mana, 5 if I want to play Witch's Cottage. So I can go ahead and sack, play Ghoul Callers, and then play both of them, because that'll be 1, 2, 3 mana. So, and then I also have 1 left over for Defile. Yeah, so let's go ahead, sacrifice. We will return 2 target zombies, and there we go. We even keep up removal for Disciple of the Vault, if that is their win condition. There's a Chromatic Sphere. So there's the second Mirror Retriever. Looks like they're going to fetch back the first Mirror Retriever. So they have a loop now. Can they do anything with the loop? They're cracking the sphere for red mana. Impact Tremors. Okay. Well, it looks like we lose next turn. Unless we... it's a swamp. Okay, we just got really unlucky with the draws, unfortunately. So we'll just attack for 5. So next turn, they untap, they play the Mirror Retriever, they sacrifice... Yeah, there is nothing we can do to interrupt that combo. Unless I'm missing something. Nah. So we'll begin sideboarding. We definitely want the Spell Bombs and the Duresses. So if we can get the Ashnod's Altar in the graveyard and then exile it away with the Spell Bomb, that's going to be really good for us. Honestly, the Nameless Inversions are kind of dead weight. They might not even have Disciple of the Vault, or maybe they didn't. I'll take out 1 Defile, as most of their creatures, I believe, are going to be 1/1s anyway, and Festering Mummy is going to be able to take care of that. Honestly, cut 1 Ghoul Caller's chant. I don't know how much removal they'll be running. Maybe we remove a Gary. I think we'll run it back like that. So we'll be on the play. Hopefully we won't have to mull the 5. We get Festering. Yeah, okay. I like this curve. And they also keep a hand of 7. So let's go ahead and put Festering out first and go ahead, pass the turn. So turn 1 Chromatic Sphere. That's fine. So it comes back to us. We get another Ghoul Raiser. We'll go ahead and play a Swamp, swing in with the Festering Mummy, and then play the Lazotep Reaver. So in goes for the 1 damage, play the Reaver, get the token, and we'll go ahead and pass turn. If we draw a Swamp, I might just go ahead and cycle the Barrenmoor at some points. Might do it because there's no zombies in the graveyard, but I don't know what they're doing. They get a green mana, Ancient Stirrings, okay. So it looks like they get an island. They already played their land for turn. I guess they didn't really hit anything that they were hoping for. There's another Chromatic Sphere. Comes back to us. We get a Gem Palm, so I actually do like that. I'll play the Barrenmoor, swing in for 3, and then I think I'll go ahead and play the Festering Mummy. Pass the turn. I could Gem Palm, but obviously I want to get that with as many zombies down on the field as possible. So next turn, I'll probably Gem Palm. Oh, they played the island. Thought Cash, sure. So they sack the Chromatic Sphere for a blue, and out comes a Witching Well. A 1-drop zombie, a Carrion Feeder here would be pretty good. Looks like it's coming back to me. A Sign in Blood. Okay, that's not bad. I think I just want to go ahead, swing in with everyone, and then cycle the Gem Palm Polluter. And so they are down to 12. Let's go ahead and cycle this now. Just in case I hit... Yeah, the reason why I went ahead and did that during my main phase was just in case I hit a 1-drop or a land, in which case I could have Sign in Blood or played the 1-drop. Did not happen though, so we'll go ahead and pass turn. Next turn, I think I will go ahead and play the Shepherd of Rot. So out comes a Mirror Retriever. They find the first piece of their combo. There is a part of me that does want to play Ghoul Raiser. I guess the clock is the same either way, no matter what I do. So I do want to go ahead and play the Ghoul Raiser now, as this is guaranteed to bring back the Gem Palm Polluter. And now I can go ahead and swing in with everyone. And next turn, I will have a lethal attack and kill one of the Festering Mummies. Oh, no, they don't. Okay, they just take it. They're down to 4, and they have to win this turn, or I just win, because I have lethal attack, I have Gem Palm, I have multiple avenues to win. I went with Ghoul Raiser because the 2/2 is a bit bigger of a body than a 1/1, and Shepherd of Rot is a little too easy to answer sometimes. So it looks like the Ancient Stirrings. They find a Mirror Retriever, although they don't have enough mana to cast an Ashnod's Altar and a Mirror. Well, yeah, if they have the Ashnod's Altar here, then this could be really dangerous. Okay, so they have the Chromatic Star. Now they don't have enough mana to find and play an Ashnod's Altar, which is great. So looks like they play Grapple with the Past, and well, they mill away an Ashnod's and Impact Tremors, which is really good. And looks like they just get back an island from the graveyard, and they go ahead and scoop it up. Unfortunately, we didn't hit any of our sideboard cards, but that was still pretty good. So we'll submit it back like that. We aren't having the fast starts that we want, but that's okay. So we have a Festering Mummy, Shepherd of Rot, Ghoul Raiser, 3 lands, and the Spell Bomb. I think I will keep this. Just play a land, into a Chromatic Sphere, comes back to us, and we pull a Gem Palm. That's great. So out comes a Festering Mummy, and we'll go ahead and pass turn. I think this might actually be my first time going up against the Mirror Retriever combo. I was kind of expecting it to see a bit more. We do not like that Ethereum Sculptor at all. So, another Gem Palm. Okay, we'll go ahead and swing in. The reason being, if they choose to block, we can kill it, as it'll take 1 damage and the -1/-1 counter. Wisely, they choose not to block. We will go ahead and play. Do I need to be worried about? I might need to be worried about them comboing off next turn with the mana reduction. I think I have to Spell Bomb here. I really want to play Shepherd of Rot, but I think I just have to play the Spell Bomb, as if they have the perfect hand, they could very well combo off right here. Looks like they do not, but I am respecting the potential. So Thoughtcast into Chromatic Sphere, and out comes the Ashnod's Altar. That's not what we want to see, but we do have the Spell Bomb. It looks like they are just passing back to us. We draw another land. So we'll play the lands, and I guess we'll go ahead, swing in, choose not to block, and we'll go ahead and play Shepherd of Rot. Yeah, it really hurts. Now I feel like we are a mana behind, because we aren't using the mana as efficiently as possible, but I just feel like we had to. We had to play the Spell Bomb. Ancient Stirrings. What do they get? They find the first Mirror Retriever. They play the Mirror Retriever, and they are sacking, bringing back the Chromatic Sphere. I think, I don't think I want to pop this now, because they already have 2 other Chromatic Spheres they're just getting back, and there is a time where, during their combo, where I can exile 2 Mirror Retrievers instead of just 1. So I feel like the 2 is going to be much more valuable. Looks like they are sacking the Chromatic Spheres for green. So there is a Mirror Retriever. Once they sack this, we can get rid of 2 Mirror Retrievers with the Spell Bomb, which is what I plan on doing. Yeah, because they'll most likely target the other Mirror Retriever. And so now let's try to sack the Spell Bomb, get rid of 2. I am going to want to draw a card from this ability. And I'm just going to F6, we can't do anything else. So they grapple with the past at instant speed. They're going to get back 1 of the Mirror Retrievers, but we do get a mill more. So looks like we also get rid of an Unearth Island and Thoughtcast. So they still save 1 of their Mirror Retrievers, but they did have to spend more resources to do it. There's the other Mirror Retriever. And I'm hoping for the other Spell Bomb. More green. They sacrifice the Mirror Retriever, so looks like they're just trying to draw as many cards as possible. There's a Vessel of Nascency. So what are they going to do? They're just digging. They're digging hard. So they get to reveal the top 4 and put an artifact, basically a permanent, and they choose Vessel of Nascency. So they unearth the Mirror Retriever. They are digging really hard. They get back a Chromatic Sphere. Are they just going to get it? Do they just keep hitting more card draw until... All right, there's another Ancient Stirrings. They get a Tree of Tales, so an artifact land. And are they fizzling? Is that it? All right, it comes back to us. Oh boy. Not sure what to do now. I think I'll just go ahead and play land, and I might just Lazo tap into a Shepherd of Rot. So let's go ahead and swing in with the Festering Mummy now. They're not going to block. The Ethereum Sculptor is way too valuable for them not to block, or to block. And then let's play the Lazo tap Reaver. We get that token, and let's play the Shepherd of Rot. And then we should be able to win next turn, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can tap this at the end step, put him to 12. We untap, put him to 7, put him to 2, and then we also have 2 Gem Palm Polluters. So they need to win this next turn, which they might. So there is the Vessel of Nascency again. A Chromatic Star, they're going to be looping. They get more green. Is this another Grapple with the Past? Okay, this might be a wrong move, but I'm just going to tap now so I can F6, save on time, so I don't have to keep hitting 1 every single time. Opponent, do what you gotta do. If you go off, you go off. What do they grab? They put Mirror Retriever. So they have an infinite loop. I don't know if they have a win condition. So if they find the win condition, then we are dead. If they do not, we win. So yeah, sacking the Mirror Retriever, getting back the other Mirror Retriever, playing the Mirror Retriever, they are up 1 mana. So they do technically have infinite colorless mana, and then they can keep doing that. Do they have a third Mirror Retriever though? The reason why I ask is if they have a third, then they would need to have one in hand. As with 3, then they can also loop back with a Chromatic Sphere to draw their entire deck, but I don't know if they have one. So, okay, so now they get back their Chromatic Star. They play the Chromatic Star. 2 Mirror Retrievers in the graveyard. They get red, blue for Witching Well. I mean, they're digging for Impact Tremors. I'm assuming they have 2 in the deck or something. More than 1 as... Okay, so there's the Impact Tremors. Do they have another Mirror Retriever? Because if they do, we lose right here. There's only 1 more Mirror Retriever in the deck. At least I'm assuming they're running 4. They asked me BR. Don't know what that stands for. Wait, they just leave? I guess they didn't have it then. They asked me BR. I don't know what that means. Okay, well, I guess they fizzled. Yeah, they put both the Mirror Retrievers into the graveyard without any way to get them back. At least I'm assuming they didn't have any way to get them back. So they found the Impact Tremors, but they kind of put themselves into a hole. I guess they didn't have the other Mirror Retriever. So GG's, I guess we got there. All right, so we are in the next match. We would like to go first. So 2 lands, 1 does enter tap, but we have a bunch of 1-drops. We have a Sign in Blood. I think we'll keep this. That seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and play the Swamp, and I think the first thing we want to do is play the Festering Mummy. Actually, maybe the Carrion Feeder. I think I should have played the Carrion Feeder first, but oh well. So they just play a Terramorphic Expands, pass it back to us. We will play the Witch's Cottage, enters tap though. They sack the Terramorphic. What are we up against? A green, so not sure which deck we're up against. We play the Carrion Feeder, and we go ahead and pass turn. And now that I have the Carrion Feeder out, I will not F6 in case they have removal. Anointer Priest. Okay, so is this... Are the Zendikar cards out? Are they available yet? I don't know if they are or not. Let's go ahead and play that. I will Sign in Blood myself now. Oh, okay, 2 more lands. Okay. Let's go ahead and play another... Festering Mummy and swing in with both of these, and they choose not to block, and I'll go ahead and pass turn. So the reason why I ask this is I don't know if they are doing a Soul Sisters build with that new card, the Blight Priest, I think it's called. I don't remember. Another Sign in Blood. I kind of do want to Sign in Blood myself again, just to see what we draw. A Lazotep Reaver and a Gem Palm Polluter. That is perfect. Let's go ahead, attack with all creatures. They choose not to block. They take a bunch, and we will play the Lazotep. And then we might sacrifice the Festering Mummies at their end step. I can bring them back with a Ghoul Caller's Chance, and then still have enough mana to Gem Palm, and Carrion Feeder grows to be larger. There's Battle Screech. Okay, so they get tokens. They gain a couple life, and they go ahead and create more tokens. So we'll be able to get rid of 2 of those tokens. I think I will do that. So we'll sacrifice a Festering Mummy, put the -1/-1 counter on one of the tokens. We would love to do that, and then sacrifice another. And so we got rid of the 2 untapped tokens. And we draw another land. Okay. Well, I guess we know what we are doing. So let's go ahead, attack with everything. And we'll go ahead, Ghoul Caller's Chant to return those 2 Festering Mummies. And we'll play both of them. And we can Gem Palm at instant speed. So I think we'll just go ahead and pass turn for now. I think at their end step, I'll go ahead and sack those as well. Oh, no. What are they doing? Ivy Lane Denizen. Okay, another green creature. These are all white, though. Okay, not entirely sure what this build is. It's Naya token green. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead, cycle, and we will choose them. Always yes, always yield. And let's see what we draw. Another Gem Palm. So we might have the win here. Let's go ahead, sacrifice the Festering, put, yes. Let's remove some of their blockers. Yeah, so now Carrion Feeder is a 5/5. We get a Nameless Inversion, so we can even get rid of another one of their blockers. So I guess we'll go ahead, cast, get rid of the Ivy Lane Denizen, and we'll go ahead, swing. They pretty much have to block the Carrion Feeder here. They will take 2. They'll go down to 6. Oh, they block the zombie. Well, I should have sacked to the Carrion Feeder, but it doesn't... I didn't because it didn't really matter. Yes, so, alright, we got there. I was not expecting them to block the 1/1. This is definitely where we want to bring in the Suffocating Fumes. And that might honestly be it. I'm not entirely sure why they have the Ivy Lane Denizen if they're creating white tokens. Maybe that's the only white token creator and they just didn't draw the green tokens. I think I'll bring in the Suffocating Fumes over 2 Sign in Bloods, as we can cycle these away and draw if we find that we don't need them. Maybe only 1 Sign in Blood and we can drop 1 Ghoul Caller's Chant. And we'll run it back like that. Starting the second game, looks like we've got 1 Carrion Feeder, 2 Gem Palms, only 2 lands. We do get a Ghoul Callers. I think I'll actually keep this. I can draw into several 1 or 2 drops, and we'll go from there. So we get a Sign in Blood. That's fine. We'll play the Carrion Feeder turn 1, as we should have done last game. And what do they do? So they play a Mountain. Down comes a Devoted Druid. So they are definitely a combo deck. Another combo deck. So we'll go ahead and play the second swamp. I'll play the Lazotep Reaver now in case they block. As if they do block, then I'll just sack probably the Lazotep Reaver. But they most likely won't block, yeah. And I'll go ahead and pass turn. What I would really like is a Defile or a Festering Mummy would be great. Oblivion Ring. So what they choose, I'll just sacrifice Carrion Feeder to itself. We can't deal with enchantments, at least not yet. I don't know if the Zendikar cards have come out on Magic Online yet. I haven't seen any of them. And then this way, if we draw a land, we can get it back with the Ghoul Raiser. Well, it's not quite what I was hoping for. Let's Sign in Blood ourselves. See what we draw. A Shepherd of Rot and a Defile. So I guess we have to play that tapped, and we'll swing in. Yeah, they block, and I guess we just pass turn. Hope that they don't just infinite combo on us next turn. The way that I think this infinite combo is going to work is there's that enchantment that, yeah, Presence of Gone. There it is. So enchant creature has tap, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token that will combo with the Ivy Lane Denizen, and they cast another Commune with the God. Okay, so they've got a lot. So they have the Presence of Gones, and what do they grab with this? They grab another Presence of Gones. That is 2 Gones. So yeah, tap, create the token will enter, trigger Ivy Lane Denizen to put a +1 whenever another green creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter. So they will put a -1/-1 counter to untap the Devoted Druid, then put the +1/+1 counter on, and then you can tap again to create another token. You get infinite tokens that way, which I guess the Anointer Priest makes a bit more sense now. But so there is a swamp, and now I will go ahead, play the Ghoul Raiser, get back the Carrion Feeder. I will not play it though, as I want to keep the black mana open for the Defile, and I'll go ahead, swing in for 2, and I'll pass turn. So if they play Presence of Gond, I will remove it. Anointer Priest, that's fine. So it looks like they are passing turn for now. Okay, we've drawn 3 Gem Palm Polluters. Well, let's play the Carrion Feeder, and let's swing in with everyone. So we'll swing in with everyone. Let's see how they block, if they block. So they block the Zombie Army. The good thing that we can do is we can then sacrifice, because Zombie Army isn't going to kill the Anointed Priest, so we can sacrifice the Zombie Army and we still get that 1 power. They have something in response, Elect Trickery. So only the Carrion Feeder will die. I do have Ghoul Caller's Chant to get it back. Okay, I don't mind that. And then next turn I will play the Shepherd of Rot. Well, not next turn. This next main phase, I will play the Shepherd of Rot, keeping the Defile back open, and then I wonder how much damage we can deal next turn. We'll figure out what they are doing. Presence of Gond, I will Defile, and then just 6, because there's nothing else I can do. But yes, so Presence of Gond goes into the graveyard, along with the Devoted Druid, and we get another swamp, so this is interesting. Play the swamp, and I'll go ahead, swing in. Ooh, not the Shepherd of Rot, everyone else. They block the Ghoul Raiser, they take 1. So they go down to 12, and I can tap, each lose 3. I am 1 mana away. So I think I just return the Carrion Feeder to my hand, play the Carrion Feeder, and then I hold up the Shepherd of Rot and a Gem Palm as at instant speed. So Midnight Guard, this is another combo piece, okay? But we win next turn. we don't even need to swing in. So end step, tap Shepherd of Rot, and then we will cycle this. Save targets, always yes, always yield. They go down to 4, and we'll be able to tap and win. So there we go, won the match. Into our next match, looks like the opponent is going first, and ooh, I think I will keep this. We've got removal. We do our 2 Baron Moors, which stings, but we've got cheap creatures we can play, and then it might be bad, but I think I'll keep this. Is this burn? Could it not be burn? This is a horrible hand against burn. Oh, this is cycling. Wait, is this 3 combo decks in a row we're going up against? Why is everyone playing combo all of a sudden? So there's Rite of Flame. They cycle a Monstrous Carabin and a Drannith Healer. So yeah, we're up against cycling combo. There's a Street Wraith. Okay, so there is a Swamp. I think, what do I want to do? I think I just have to go on the aggressive. So there's, well, as aggressive as 2 1/1s can be. Apparently everyone is just deciding to play combo today. At least it's 3 different combo decks. Play the Baron Moor, and I guess we'll go ahead, swing in, and then we'll Sign and Blood ourselves. Draw a couple extra cards. Shepherd of Rot and Lasso Tap. So yeah, not bad. Next turn. Okay, so they cycle Adrena Stinger. Yeah, we're definitely bringing in the Nihil Spell Bombs. Although the deck can play around Graveyard Hate, which is unfortunate. We'll go ahead and swing in. They're not hitting any black mana right now, though, so that's good. Unless this is the mono red version. It might be with Rite of Flame. We'll go ahead and play the Lazotep Reaver. And then with the Shepherd of Rot out, our clock will be so much faster. And we'll go ahead and pass the turn. So next turn we'll be able to go in for 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, knock them down to 10, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll 5 more for Gem Palm. So if we survive this turn, if they don't go off this turn, which they just cast another Rite of Flame, so they might. There's a Manamorphose. If we can survive this turn, then we can kill them, but they have, next is Dark Ritual, they cycle Drannith Healer, they play Chromatic Star, they are sacrificing that for black mana, it seems. Cycle another Street Wraith, so we will definitely win next turn if it comes back to us. The thing I don't want to see is, well, there's another Chromatic Star, that's fine. The one that adds Songs of the Damned, I think, adds black mana for each creature card in your graveyard. That is the one I don't want to see. Manamorphose, Storm count up to 6, so if they have Reaping the Graves, there it is, that's Songs of the Damned right there, so now they, yikes. Next up is Reaping the Graves, I believe, unless they have more mana generators. So there's the Reaping the Graves, they're going to be able to get back all of their cyclers, so they get everything back, and they cycle once again. Now, okay, so yeah, they're going all their Street Wraiths. We won't even need to attack to win. But it's just a matter of actually surviving. So cycle into another Rite of Flame. 9 cards in hand. They've definitely, I think they've got it, but I guess we'll see. Continuing to cycle. They cycle more. They cycle Adrena Stinger, so I'm assuming they have another Reaping the Graves. There's a Songs of the Damned. Another Reaping the Graves. Yeah, they've definitely got it. I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for them to actually play their Drannith Stingers with a bunch of mana available. Because it is still possible they fizzle. Because they can play the Drannith Stinger and they only have 8 mana to actually cycle. And it's unlikely, but they can miss. They can miss on all the next draws that they have. So we'll see. So they cycle, Street Wraith. There's the other Drannith Stinger. I'm not dead yet. The second they have another Songs of the Damned or Rite of Flame, I am dead. So I'm just waiting to see that as they continue to cycle. Digging further into their library where they are most likely going to find it. Oh, so they put Songs of the Damned on top of their library with Reclaim. So that will do it. It's kind of neat to see though. So yeah, all that. So at 13, we'll just, unfortunately we were oh, okay, well, I was going to say we were 1 turn too slow. Generally, I think what I would have done is I would have brought in the Nihil Spell Bombs and the Duresses, and then, but, oh, they left. Okay. So we're entering our next game. It looks like we've got some land, Shepherd, Lazotep. I think I'll keep this. We are going second and a colony garden, so this could possibly be Bogles. And I guess we'll just play the swamp and pass turn. Don't have any 1-drops. They play something, it might defile. Oh, another colony garden, okay. And Festering Mummy. So let's go ahead and play... Let's play the Shepherd of Rot first. I will just pass turn. I want to try to get that burn in as soon as possible. So there's Cult. Okay, so this might not... Oh, it's definitely not Bogles then. Comes back to us. We get a Nameless Inversion. I'm not really entirely sure what they are doing. Going up against some really interesting decks today. It's always fun to see. And then play a Festering Mummy. So there's Lazotep, Festering, and we'll pass turn. We can activate Shepherd of Rot at instant speed. We'll swing in next turn. And end step, we'll tap Shepherd. We get another Shepherd. That's actually pretty good. Let's go ahead, swing in with everyone except Shepherd. They choose not to block, and, well, let's play. So that actually does come in untapped. I can, yeah, I'll activate Shepherd. Well, I'll play Shepherd, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next turn they are dead. I will Gem Palm Polluter at their end step, but I will also keep open Nameless Inversion and Defile if I need it. Mold Shambler. If it was kicked, destroy target non-creature permanent. So this is Ponza then. Doesn't matter, we should be able to win regardless. So we will go ahead and cycle. Always yes, always yield. And they are down to 8. All right, land gets destroyed. We will tap for them to lose 5. And they see the writing on the wall. All right. That's a good thing about zombies. Doesn't matter if they get a good creature down, we can just reach past it. Ponza, I think... I don't know if I actually bring anything in against Ponza. Normally I would bring in Duress to hit their spells, but if it is more creature-based, then Duress isn't really going to do all that much. I might just honestly run it back like this. I'll tell you what, I'll bring in 2 Suffocating Fumes in case they have a bunch of token makers with the Colony Gardens to help block, in case that comes in handy, and I'll get rid of... If they're going to be blowing up my lands, I think Grey Merchant is going to be just a little too slow. So we'll run it back like that, see what happens, especially since we're on the draw. Carrion Feeder, Ghoul Raiser, Nameless Inversion. I think I'll keep this. So there's a Colony Garden. We'll send out the Carrion Feeder and pass the turn back to them. We play a land and a Wild Growth. Okay. Yeah, they're ramping up into their... another Swamp. Okay, we're not really drawing what we want. I guess we'll just attack. At the end of their turn, I think I might as well just Nameless Inversion their plant token, and then I'm going to play Ghoul Raiser and get Nameless Inversion right back. Or no, I will Nameless Inversion that. So it was not kicked, though. So I will Nameless Inversion the Mold Shambler, and it comes back to me Suffocating Fumes. That's nice. Play a Swamp, swing in with the Carrion Feeder. They choose not to block, and I will play the Ghoul Raiser, getting the Nameless Inversion back to my hand, and I will pass the turn. So there is a Voracious Typhon. So I guess this isn't really dedicated land destruction. It's more creature mid-range and nothing more that I can really do. So I will pass Gem Palm Polluter. So let's play the Swamp. How do I want to play this? Because I could swing in with both of them, see how it blocks. If they get rid of the Carrion Feeder... If they block the Carrion Feeder, it'll go down to 3. I can kill it with Nameless Inversion and then get both Carrion Feeder and Nameless Inversion back with Ghoul Caller's Chant, which I think is kind of the line of play. And then if they kill the Ghoul Raiser, then... Okay, so this is what I expected. And then I can Nameless Inversion. There's still a couple turns from being able to escape that. And then play the Ghoul Caller's Chant to get back the Nameless and Carrion. Play the Carrion, pass turn. Zombies are hard to keep down. There's a lot of recursion in that. When it becomes blocked, defending player sacrifices a land. Okay, so this is kind of land destruction, I guess. It's definitely a weird deck. I think what I want to do is I'll play Festering Mummy. I will sacrifice the Festering Mummy to put the -1/-1 counter on the Thresher Beast. And then I will Nameless Inversion the Thresher Beast and swing in. And go ahead and pass turn. Next turn I can Gem Palm Polluter. Okay, so Reclaiming Vines. So they destroy one of my lands, passes back, and 3 Gem Palm Polluters. Okay, so I guess I will attack. They block, that is fine. And I'm going to cycle now, just in case I hit a land. That way I can make my land drops. As not a land. That is a Reaver, though, so I will take that. I do really want to land, though. That way I can Reaver and Gem Palm Polluter, and that will let me win. And all right, comes back. Can we draw a land? No, it is a Carnophage. Does that let us win? Because I play the Carnophage. Well, I hit for 4. Okay, so one thing I can do is I play this Gem Palm Polluter for 3, so they are down to 5. And then I sacrifice the Carnophage to the Carrion Feeder for the 5, so yeah, I'll do that. And I'll go ahead, swing in. So they do Fog. Okay, so yeah, there's not really much I can do about that. So I think I will go ahead Gem Palm Polluter though. Just see if I hit a land. No land, Nameless Inversion. All right, so what do they have? They pass back again. So do they have another Fog? Well, we get a Ghoul Raiser. And I guess we'll just swing in. See. Okay, so Vitality Charm, they get a token. We will swing in regardless. So they will block the Carrion Feeder, and we can Gem Palm Polluter. And that is the match. All right. So out of the full matches we did get to play, I think we ended up winning all of them. Yeah, apparently it was just combo day today. Those combo decks just, except for that last one, but some interesting brews today. Zombie Tribal is very interesting. It's definitely not the most aggressive in terms of getting big creatures down fast like Mono Green Stompy, but it's so hard to stop. You remove the creatures, they just get it back, play it right back, put out blockers, they have ways to reach past the blockers. It's a very interesting deck, definitely one of the more fun aggro decks out there. And the weird part is that the full deck is very budget. I don't really know if I would change much, honestly. I can't really think of any other card that you would put in except for things that are personal preference. For instance, the Gray Merchants and the other things that I put in that I don't really see other people having. I like to have that top end. You don't necessarily have to have it, but it's one of the more fun aggro lists. I would definitely try it out. And I have been sitting on this deck for quite a while. It's just other people have always made videos about it, but I figured whatever, I can just put this out. And with Zendikar Rising just coming out, there are definitely some decks that I want to try. So the next couple videos might be some hopeful homebrews with some of the new cards that I'm really looking forward to. Not exactly sure when they come out. I think they'll be out by the time this video gets out. So I should be starting to test there and should be a good time. But anyway, I just want to thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. But now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to cast Ghoul Raiser, who will hopefully raise my cold, dead heart. Bye.